working at Dartington Summer School doing a performance with Serenoa, a quartet based in Dawlish, and Amanda came to that.
I came to the concert basically and heard Chartwell introducing his music and how he was playing with the quartet, and he did it in such a way that was really open and inviting and encompassing, and especially the idea about building bridges across cultures, which really coincided with how my research was progressing at the time and still is.
You're not a very good singer. Can you please mime? No, there's no miming here. Can we say Mauya, Mauya?
Mauya, Mauya.
Mauya, Mauya.
Mauya, Mauya.
That means welcome, welcome.
In fact, within the month before I met Chartwell, I'd just been filming the Kronos Quartet in San Francisco and researching some of the rehearsal processes when they interact with different non-Western musicians. So this came at a really interesting time for me.
That was the first time I met her, and we didn't say anything at that day, but we arranged to have a meeting, and she told me, you know, what she's interested in as a researcher, and then we thought, okay, so let's do it. And because I had worked with Serenoa Quartet, I was very interested in mixing the strings with the Mbira, which is a traditional instrument from Zimbabwe. So this instrument here comes from Zimbabwe. It's called Mbira. Mbira, M-B-I-R-A, Mbira. It's made out of three things: hand-forged metal pieces, if you can imagine a blacksmith forging these metal pieces into different sizes. And the metal pieces are put on one very hard wood. And at the bottom we've got, here you see shells. And these shells gives a buzzing to the Mbira. And when I'm playing Mbira, I'm using two thumbs and an index finger to pluck these metal pieces like this. And we took it from there, and we sort of looked at all different fundings that we could get, and we came up with...
Yeah, the initial funding is from the Arts Council, so we're grateful for the Arts Council helping us to do this initial work, which involves workshops, especially with children in various schools from Wiltshire, Somerset and Devon. And we're working on ongoing research collaborations with other musicians as well. And yes, so there's lots more to happen. This is just the start of something quite a lot bigger.
We are hoping that we can carry on going into schools, because it's a very important way of working together, especially cross-cultural and collaborating as well.
Yeah, well, Chartwell already does a lot of work with his music, taking it into schools right from very young age children to older children. But this project is particularly looking at the cross-cultural exchange. So it's not just about Mbira, but actually what happens when different cultures mix, and how people from all sorts of different backgrounds can actually access and find a way into that music. And what to me has proved interesting is the way that people can do that through understanding the rhythm and the dance and the movement aspects of the music which Mbira provides. So getting the rhythmic interest from the strings and the Mbira and how those intersect and swap over through the movement is really important.
So we are going to show you now what happened when the string instrument came to the Mbira sound. So I just played a Mbira tune, and these guys listen, and they say, okay, what can we put on, or what can we create around that? interesting if we talk about what happened here at Bath College. We didn't have a plan because, you know, you never know. We knew that we had drama students and few musicians. So the expectation was not there really, but we knew we had to do something with them, and considering that it's kind of an interdisciplinary sort of mix, music and drama. And the thing that came out was, you know, a lot of positive that came out there. The students participated with the dance, and the musicians brought their guitars. And the thing that is interesting as well is these students were mixed musicians, and what I believe, and Denise Rowe, the dancer as well, we work to bring together the music, the dance, not separate them. And that's exactly what we did on that day. We mixed everything and talked about how in different cultures you don't have to have dance only. You know, the dancers dance to the music, the musicians play to the dancers, and everybody participates. Nobody's gonna sit around here. You all sing? Do you sing?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yes.
I like that.
When you do this pattern, you're clapping 3 against the 2. Then we're going to follow this pattern.
I've always been sort of captured by the way that Chartwell manages to reach out to so many people, and so many people find ways to express themselves that I think is new to them. And that's what strikes me about the kind of feedback and reception that I've witnessed from how you work with people. So I think that's quite interesting, in finding new ways of actually getting quite deeply into someone, how the music and the ideas behind it, and thinking about the ancestors and more spiritual things rather than just necessarily the music, and how that can actually really affect people quite deep down when they stop and think about it. So that's very touching.
Do you know who the ancestors are? Do you? No?
Is that like the old wise ones? The older?
The old horse, did you say?
Well, sort of like spirits.
Spirits, okay. I like the word spirit. So who are the ancestors then? So the ancestors are the people that belongs to your family. Your grandparents, if they are dead, your great-grandparents, your great-grand-aunties, and all that. These are the ancestors. Now, who said spirit? Yeah. So what is a spirit?
So like the soul of...
The soul of somebody who died.
Yeah.
I like that, man. Yes, that's my intention actually, because, you know, we were talking about the spiritual element of the music. And when the music is played in Zimbabwe, it's played in ceremonies where we communicate with the ancestors, but there's no strings there. So my idea about, you know, representing Zimbabwe in this cross-cultural collaboration is we have to take the strings to Zimbabwe as well. You know, I grew up in Zimbabwe. I never touched a violin or a viola or a cello, and I keep asking myself why. Why was I deprived of these string instruments? Why are Zimbabwean people not given just the choice? Like what I'm doing here, I'm giving people the choice to play the Mbira, which is why I have the academy down in Devon, the Mbira Academy, which is actually encouraging people to play the Mbira who had never seen it. So why doesn't the same thing happen in Zimbabwe where we have strings? I know some people might say, oh, strings are very expensive, but
people are very expensive. So for me, it's about the people, how we connect them. You know, connect, learn, and then we change.
And I think it's a really interesting angle to bring to the research, to see how the music that can be created, new music that can be created by putting different kinds of ideas together, and how that can be received in different contexts, so how the Zimbabwean context would receive that music.
Yeah.
And that's very interesting from a research point of view, and also in the global context that we all live our lives these days, it's really important to create more connections between cultures and their backgrounds. Music is part of that.
Yeah, remember there was a guy who just, we didn't ask for feedback, but he just wanted to make a comment that day when we did a workshop. He said, there's no way I would have gone to listen to the strings, and there's no way I would have gone to listen to the Mbira, but the way you brought it together, it made me dance. And I thought, that's the feedback that sort of encourage us to keep doing this. If we take this to Zimbabwe, to Zimbabwean people, we might find similar reaction either to adults or young people, and that's cross-cultural collaboration.